Hey all, glad welcome. We are talking about nutrition in human being. You already learned about the structure of digestive system and associated gland in our previous video. Until now, if you haven't seen, then click on the link given below in description. In the process of nutrition in human being, the steps involved in the process, nutritions are ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. Ingestion is the process of taking in food. The food is masticated by the teeth before swallowing. Digestion is the process of conversion of large complex insoluble organic molecules into soluble substances. Digestion may be intracellular like in paramecium and extracellular like in human being. The process of digestion starts in the mouth and continues till the intestine. In the mouth, the food gets mixed with saliva, which is the first digestive juice secreted by the salivary gland, which are of three types: parotid, submaxillary, and sublingual. The saliva contains an enzyme called ilium, which breaks down the polysaccharide starch into disaccharide maltose. The food is passed from the mouth to the stomach through a long muscular tube called esophagus. The gastric gland of stomach secrete gastric juices that contains HCl, protein enzymes called pepsin and renin, mucus, and a small amount of gastric lipase. Pepsin breaks the protein into peptones and proteoses in the acidic medium of gastric juice present in the stomach, propel and churn food forward. Renin breaks the casein protein present in the milk into paracasein. HCl breaks down pepsinogen into pepsin. The digested food reaches the first part of the small intestine called the duodenum. The duodenum receives the bile juice which emulsify the fats through the hepatic duct from the liver and the pancreatic juice from the pancreas via the hepatopancreatic duct. The pancreatic juice contains several enzymes, namely trypsin, amylase, lipase, etc. The proteins, emulsified fats, and carbohydrates, starch, and glycogens are further digested into peptones and peptides, glycerol and fatty acid, and maltose and isomaltose. Finally, the digestion gets completed in the ilium of a small intestine with the secretion of intestinal juice, which contains the amyloitic enzyme, proteolytic enzyme, and lipolytic enzyme. Now the time is to mug up the name of all the enzymes associated with intestinal function in a small intestine. Erepsin, it acts upon the peptides and peptones and breaks down it into amino acid. Maltase acts upon maltose sugar and converts it into glucose. Sucrase enzyme is responsible for breaking down of sucrose and converts it into glucose and fructose. Lactase acts upon the lactose and breaks down into glucose and galactose, whereas lipase acts upon the triglyceride and breaks down into monoglyceride and fatty acid. In large intestine, it secretes mucus for lubrication of fecal matter. Now, after the digestion, absorption takes place. The process of mixing of digested food in the body fluid. All the digested food is absorbed in the ilium. The food is absorbed by diffusion, osmosis, and by the active participation or transport of cells of intestine. Then fat absorption, the first process. As the fatty acid and glycerol are insoluble in water, they cannot reach the bloodstream directly. So they are passed into the lymph capillaries of the villi called the lacteals. You have seen in a video of lymphatic system, all the details are mentioned there. The lacteals fats are resynthesized into very small fat molecules. Thus, bile plays an important role in absorption of fats. The absorbed fat is sent via blood vessels to different parts of the body. Next process is assimilation. In this process, utilization of absorbed food for various body function. The absorbed nutrients are utilized to synthesize complex molecules like carbohydrate, proteins and fats inside the cell. Stages of food. This is the most important terms: bolus, chyme and chyle. Bolus, the food passing from the mouth till the stomach, is called bolus. In digestion, bolus is a ball-like mixture of food and saliva that forms in the mouth during the process of chewing. It is the same color as the food being eaten, and the saliva gives it an alkaline pH under normal circumstances. The bolus is swallowed, travels down the esophagus to the stomach for digestion, and then further chyme, an acidic fluid that passes through stomach to small intestine that consists gastric juices and partly digested food. After that, chyle is the term or milky fluid that drains from the lacteals or small intestine into the lymphatic system during digestion of fat or into fatty acid and glycerol. So keep watching, keep sharing, and don't forget to comment.